Hey guys, welcome to the Reparenting Daily podcast, your daily guide for inner child healing. This podcast helps you establish a consistent reparenting routine and is divided into 3 sections. The first is a daily reading, the second is a discussion of that reading followed by suggested journal prompts, and the last section is a peaceful meditation for closing. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from whenever and wherever you're joining us. I'm so glad that you're here as we continue on this journey of self-expansion and growth. If this is your first time, welcome. Now, before we dive in, I have a few quick reminders. Please like, share, and subscribe to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Your support here helps us spread the word, allowing us to continue to grow this community. Next, I'd like to introduce our Patreon group, where we have 3 weekly meetings. On Sundays, we have a meditation meeting. On Tuesdays, we have book club meeting. And on Thursdays, we have open topic discussions. These meetings take place at 6 p.m. CEST, so Amsterdam, Paris time. For my next announcement, I'd also like to introduce the Reparenting Daily journal, which you can find on Amazon. This journal follows along with the podcast, so each weekly and monthly themes are reflected in the journal. It provides space for you to keep your notes with plenty of extra resources on each topic to be discussed. It's an excellent tool, and if you purchase it, you can join our weekly meetings for free. Just send me an email and we'll get you linked in. For the last announcement, I'd like to introduce one of my most meaningful creative projects, a 3-volume series entitled Fairy Tales for Reparenting. Now, you might be wondering, why fairy tales? Aren't those just for kids? But through my personal healing journey and in studying the work of Carl Jung, Marie-Louise von Franz, and other spiritual and psychological traditions, I've come to see fairy tales as powerful symbolic maps for transformation. They carry deep, timeless wisdom, especially for those of us doing the hard work of reparenting ourselves. The series follows the structure of the hero's journey. Volume 1 explores the wounded child, stories of loss, betrayal, and innocence. Volume 3 is about the trials of endurance, cunning, and self-discovery. And Volume 3 is the return, stories of transformation, power, and wholeness. Each story is followed by journal prompts and space to reflect on how each story connects to your own inner healing journey. These are not just tales, they're tools. They're an invitation to connect with the part of you that still believes in magic and possibility and healing. You'll find both familiar classic and lesser-known stories from cultures around the world, offering you fresh insights and inspiration on your path. All 3 volumes are now available on Amazon. Your support means so much to me, not just for this project, but for the larger mission of helping myself and others reconnect inwardly. Reparenting is like nurturing a bonsai tree. It's not fast, it's not flashy, but with care, patience, and consistency, it will transform you. Thanks so much for being here and for supporting this work, and also for committing on your personal journey of self-expansion. Now, without further ado, let's dive into today's practice. Today's reading is also from the same article. We're going to be continuing in the last section, How to Be More Assertive. Just as a reminder, we're in July, and the theme for this month is establishing boundaries and assertiveness. We're in week 3, which is July 15th until the 21st. And the theme for this week is communicating assertively. How to be more assertive. Assertiveness is a skill that needs to be built and developed over time. If you read this far, hopefully you have a good understanding of what assertiveness is and why it's important. But putting it into practice is an entirely different thing. Here are a handful of simple ways to get started being more assertive in everyday life. Number 1, start small and narrow. Like any other skill in life, assertiveness needs to be built up slowly over time. So instead of trying to simply be more assertive everywhere and always, pick one situation where you would like to be a bit more assertive. Work on that until you feel more confident. Then slowly work on increasingly more challenging situations. Number 2, prepare ahead of time. It's not always possible, but often you can prepare ahead of time to be more assertive in specific situations. For example, before a difficult conversation, you might take 10 minutes to write down your thoughts and what you would like to say ideally. This will help you organize your thoughts, be less anxious leading up to the conversation, and also be more confident during the conversation. Also, be smart about when and where you decide to practice assertiveness. If you have a difficult conversation with your spouse, 10 a.m. is probably better than 10 p.m. Number 3, connect assertiveness with your values. Being assertive is hard. You are likely to encounter resistance, both from the people and yourself. In order to overcome that resistance, you can greatly improve your motivation and resolve by taking some time to clarify why being assertive really matters to you and how assertiveness will help you realize those values. Number 5, make imperfect decisions on purpose. When you're faced with a trivial joint decision with someone, like which show to watch on Netflix with a friend or partner in the evening, just pick the first thing that comes to mind and say that's what you want to watch. Don't worry if you're not totally sure if that's what you really want to watch or how the other person may feel or not. Just say, I like to watch the Tourist, or let's watch Planet Earth. If you want to feel more confident, you need to practice being more decisive, regardless of how you feel. And number 6, apologize. Stop apologizing when you haven't done anything wrong. Oftentimes we say sorry because we're uncomfortable with the fact that someone else is uncomfortable, and so we say we're sorry in an attempt to make things better and relieve the discomfort of the situation. Stop. Other people's emotions are neither your responsibility nor something you can control. The next one, understand how to set boundaries. If someone asks for a favor that's either unreasonable or you simply don't want to go along with, simply say no. Understanding that you're going to feel uncomfortable afterwards, and that the point of the situation is to build up your tolerance for that discomfort. Of course, start practicing this in small and low stakes situations until you feel more confident, then gradually work your way up. You can read more about this here in the next article. And lastly, stop trying to manage how other people feel. Instead of offering solutions to or doing things to try to and make people feel better, try simply acknowledging that they're having a hard time and leave it at that. Be a good listener. Validate their emotions, but don't take responsibility for them. Welcome back. Welcome back. Assertiveness isn't about becoming someone else. It's about returning to your true self. Now, you see, as children, many of us may have learned to stay small, agreeable, or perhaps even invisible to stay safe. But the more we abandon ourselves to avoid discomfort, the more we build a life that does not truly reflect who we are at all. Today's reading is a practical guide for reparenting your voice. It reminds us that building the assertiveness muscle isn't about big confrontations. It's about tiny acts of truth. Choosing the show you actually want to watch, not apologizing for someone else's emotions, or gently saying no when you're overstretched. These are all micro moments where you get to practice telling the truth kindly to yourself and others. Over time, this becomes freedom. As we go into the journal prompts today, number 1, what is one low-stakes situation where I could practice being more assertive today? Number 2, when do I find myself apologizing just to avoid tension, and what does that teach me about my past? And number 3, what core value in my life could be better honored if I practice clearer boundaries? That's it for today. As always, thanks for being here. Take care of yourself, and please do be well. Welcome back, welcome back. Now, this is the third and final section of the daily podcast. This is your silent meditation. Please go ahead and find a space where you can be comfortable and undisturbed, where you can relax and spend some time with yourself for this 10-minute silent meditation. You can choose to be sitting, standing, lying down, or in whatever position makes you comfortable today. Take a moment to simply be with yourself. Focus on your breath and gently connect with each part of your body. If thoughts arise, don't let them overwhelm you. Just observe them without attachment. Imagine them as leaves drifting down atop a river, passing by without needing your engagement. Stay present, grounded, and open to this moment, no matter what time you are listening and practicing this meditation. Namaste.